Inhale. Good. Hold at the top. And then exhale. And one more. Inhale. Good. And exhale. And then hands on your thighs. We're going to do a little bit of rotation for our neck. So I want you to look as far as you can to your right side. And then turn and look as far as you can to your left side. And we're going to go side to side. And I want you, if you can, I want you to start using your hand to just gently push that chin slightly further through that range of motion. And you should feel a big stretch on either side of the neck. It really depends where you're tight. Good. One more. Each side, turn as far as you can with your head. Last one. Good. Come back to center. Now bring your right ear towards your shoulder. And then back to the center. Let's go to the right again. Right ear to the shoulder. And then back to the center. Two more. Ear to shoulder. Back to the center. One more. Ear to shoulder. And back to the center. Now your left side. Left ear to shoulder. Back to the center. Ear to shoulder. Good. Couple more of those. This is really great to stretch out the muscle that connects from your shoulder blades up to the neck, those postural muscles that get super tight. Let's do one more to the left, ear to shoulder. And then back to the center. And then we're going to grab your right arm. I want you to try to reach down towards your left foot. And then reach up to the sky towards the right. Okay, so we're doing a diagonal motion. Left foot all the way up to the sky with that right hand only. To your foot, to the sky. So we're doing movements in and out of these two positions, making a diagonal across our body. Let's try two more. To your foot, to the sky, to the foot, and to the sky. And now your left one to your foot, right foot, and then up towards the sky on the left side. As big as you can. Start to just warm up your body. Foot to sky, foot to sky. So important part of this exercise are having your feet and your legs wide apart. This is what protects our low back as we're reaching. It helps us to bend using our hips and not using our back. So make sure your legs are nice and wide. Good. One more. To the foot and to the sky. Good. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to use that right leg. I want you to try to lift that leg out to the side and back in. So we're just warming up some of these muscles on the outside of our hip. In and out. Through that movement, you should feel the muscle working on the outside of the leg. And you might feel a little stretch on the inside. Out and in. Good. Let's try just two more. Out and in. One more. Out and in. Switch sides. Left leg. Kick him out straight. Lift him out. Bring him back in. Out. In. Good. Each time, reach as wide as you can with that leg. This will help to get that bigger stretch on the inside of your thigh. And use that muscle to its fullest capacity on the outside of the leg. Good. Let's try three more. Out and in. Out and in. One more. Good. We're going to come back to center. We're going to do some sit to stands together. So we're going to have our feet wider than your shoulder width apart. So I want you a little bit wider base. And then I want you, if you can and are able to, I want you to reach forward and stand up tall. Okay, we're going to do 6 of these together. Reach forward with power, stand up nice and big. Good. Reach forward and up big. 4, 5. Good. 1 more. And 6. Good. Come back to the chair. We're going to get back into that wide posture. Bring your legs out nice and wide. Head and chest is up. We're going to do some floor to ceiling reaches, okay? So both arms together. I want you to reach down towards the floor. Reach up with speed to the sky. Reach down and up. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. 8. Let's do 2 more. As big as you can. Reach up with power. And rest. Good. From here, we're going to do a seated side stretch. So we're going to stay in that nice big posture. I want you to use your left hand and reach across your body as big as you can. And you're going to feel that stretch on the outside of your shoulder blade down into the trunk. We're going to alternate side to side, reaching up and over as big as you can. Each time, I want you to think about big hands too, reaching across your body. Should feel a nice big stretch on the outside of your trunk. Good. Keep going. Another 4 on each side, side to side. Good. Last one. Good. Okay, stay in that nice big posture, head and chest are up. You're going to clasp your hands together in front of you, and then I want you to glue them on your sternum or on your chest, okay? They stay on your chest, and we're going to do a motion called thoracic movement, okay? So from here, I want you to try to rotate towards the right, and you're just using a little bit of momentum as you keep your elbows up and your hands glued on your chest. This isolates your middle spine. This is the part that gets really stiff. Okay, 1 more. Come back to the center. Shake your arms out if you need to. Bring them back up to the center. Elbows are out. Hands are glued on your sternum. We're going to move the other direction. So now I'm going to my left. And this one, you really want to use momentum to help you. Drive with that elbow, leading to the left side. Two more. And rest. Good. Next one is that goddess twist. You're going to use your right arm. You're going to drop it on the inside of your right thigh. And you're going to use your left hand. Big touch. Reach with that left hand as big as you can. And then bring that hand back down to find your other hand. This is very similar to our warm-up stretch where we were doing diagonals. Reaching just one hand at a time as big as you can and feel that nice big stretch through your chest and through that middle spine. Good. One more here. Good. Sit up for a moment. We're going to use left side now. Left arm drops on the inside of your left thigh. I want your right hand to come down, meet that hand, and then reach up as big as you can towards the ceiling, and then you come back down. Okay, so it's all about the transitions. Up and back down. Seven, 8, 9, good. One more, as big as you can. Reach and come back to the center. Okay, we're gonna run through those again from the top. Big posture, legs apart. We're gonna reach to the floor and then reach to the sky. So reach down as big as you can. Reach up with power. Get some speed in that reach. Down, up with power. Let's see how fast you can go from that down to up position. Good. A couple more, guys. Good. And rest. We're going into the seated side stretch. Stay in that nice big posture. Left arm is going to lead. You're going to reach across your body as big as you can. Feel that stretch on the outside of your shoulder and your trunk. And we're going to alternate left and right. I think it's a little easier if you let your forearm rest on your thigh as you reach side to side. Good. Every movement, you want to think, can I make that a little bigger? Can I feel a bigger stretch? One more each side here. Good. Coming back to the center, we're going back to those thoracic whips. You're going to have your hands clasped together on your chest. Elbows are up. We're going to go to the right, and you're going to use a little bit of momentum, driving your right elbow behind you. Okay, your head should follow along with where your shoulders are going. So each time your head also moves to the right. Good, last one. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. Then bring your arms back up, clasp your hands, put them back on your chest. Left elbow is going to lead, and you start to rotate towards the left. Okay, you should be feeling this in the middle spine. If there's ever discomfort while you're doing something, you need to modify it for your body and what feels comfortable. There should not be any pain with the stretching. Okay, next up, we're going to do the goddess stretch. You're going to let your right arm sit on the inside of your right thigh. Left hand starts met up with that right. You're going to reach as big as you can up to the sky and then back down. Open up, close down. Open and close. Good. And each time, again, really think about, can you get a little bit further through that motion? Last one. Good. Okay, we're going to switch. Left arm drops on the inside of your left thigh. Right hand starts down on the other hand. Right hand reaches. And then back down. Your head should be following your hand as you reach. It's a great postural stretch. Good. Last one. And come back down to the center. All right, we're gonna stand together if you're able to. I'll try to show modifications in a sitting position. We're gonna stand together. You're gonna have one foot out in front, hands are on your hips, and we're going to be doing a hip hinge to feel that nice big stretch on the back of your thigh, okay? The modified position for this is on the chair, left leg out in front, hands are on your hips, and hinge forward at your hips to feel that stretch on the back of the thigh. Okay? This one is dynamic, going in and out of the movement. If it feels better for your body to hold that stretch, that's a good one too. You do what feels best for your body. Okay, let's switch sides, other leg out in front, and then hinge forward so you feel that nice big stretch on the back of your thigh. That's your hamstring. Very commonly one of the tightest muscles in our body. Especially if you sit a lot, this one is super tight. He's used to being bent all the time. Good. Okay, next one we're gonna do is more of a sumo position. So you're gonna have your legs wide apart if you're able to. If you need something to hold on to, put the chair in front of you instead of behind you, or stand behind it. We're gonna practice, you can have your hands on your thighs. I want you to try to sit back into a squat and then stand back up, okay? The key to get the stretch is that your legs need to be wider than what is comfortable. You really need to have those toes turned out slightly. And then each time you drive your hips back, and that protects your knees. If you're modifying this in a seated position, I want you on the chair. You're gonna be in that wide stance with your legs, hands on your hips, and you're hinging forward. Okay, this does the same exact thing. You should be getting that nice big stretch on the inner thigh. Pressure on and then pressure off. You're just moving in and out of the motion. Good. Next one, we're gonna do a staggered stance. I'm gonna have my left foot in front and my right foot in back. The goal for that right leg and that left leg, you need their toes pointing forward and you need your back leg straight. Okay? If you have that back leg straight, you should feel a little bit of a stretch on the front of your thigh, possibly. You might feel a big stretch in your calf muscle on the back of your leg. From here, use your right hand and I want you to reach up towards the ceiling and then back down. Okay, so we're also working on balance. If you're able to, you can do this without holding on. If you need the chair or the wall for stability, just use the other hand to hold on as you reach up. Okay, modified position for this. On your chair, you're turned to the side, that right leg is behind you and it's straight, and then you reach up with that right hand. Okay? All right, let's switch sides. Now we're gonna have left leg in back, long staggered stance, back leg is straight, front leg can be a little bent. You're gonna feel that stretch on the front of your left thigh. You might feel a big stretch in your calf muscle on the back of your leg. From here, we're gonna reach that left hand up and over towards the ceiling. And that just accentuates that stretch on that left side. Good. One more. Good. We'll stand back up. We're going into a standing lateral stepping movement. I want you to use your right foot. You're going to step out to the side. Your arms come up with you. This is that warrior position if you're familiar with yoga. Don't judge me because I am not a yoga instructor, but I'm doing the best I can. Each time I want palms up. That's super important. And then I want you to try to step back to the center, okay? Try that same side again. We're going to go to the right, step out. Big posture, palms turn up. And then you step back in. Okay, if you're modifying, I want you on the chair. You're going to step out with that right leg and both arms come up. Step out, both arms up with you each time. Good. One more on this right side. And then we'll switch. Let's try the other side. So now we're going to the left. Big posture. And make sure your head is looking towards the direction you're stepping. Step in. Oops, step out. Step in, step out. And step in. Step out. Step in. So you might feel this stretch on the inside of your thigh. You might feel it on the calf muscle a little bit, and you're going to feel your shoulders working as well. Let's try one more. Step out. And then step back in. Good. Okay, we're going to run that through the top again, okay? So starting with our hip hinge. Hands are on our waist. Left leg is out in front. You're going to hinge forward so you feel that stretch on the back of your leg. Pressure on, pressure off. So you're just moving dynamically through the movement. Make sure your back is staying flat. That protects our low back. One more. Good. You're going to switch. Right leg out in front now. Hands are on your hips. Hinge forward. Good. And again, the modified position is on the chair. Right leg is out, and you're hinging forward from here. Good. One more. Okay, next we're going to do that sumo squat. So I want you to spread your legs out wider than what feels comfortable. You should feel a little pull on the inside of your thigh, okay? From here, your hands can be on your hips, and I want you to sit back like you're squatting and then stand back up. You can also have your hands out in front or on your thighs, whatever feels more comfortable for your body. Every time you sit back, drive your legs out. Can you let your legs go a little bit wider to get that stretch on the inside of your thigh? Okay, modified is in that seated position, hands are on your hips, and you're hinging forward with that nice wide posture. All right, last one. Good. Next, we're going into our staggered stance again. So I'm going to have my left leg in front, my right leg in back. Your back leg should be straight as you can. Keep your toes pointing straight forward. And then keep your head and chest up as big as you can. We're going to do reaches with that right hand up and across. Good. The modified position is on your chair doing the same thing. You're turned one direction on that chair and reaching up as big as you can. Again, if you sit a lot, these muscles on the front of your leg get really tight. Okay, let's switch sides. Right leg in front, left leg in back, toes pointing straight forward. Keep your left leg straight, the one behind you, and then your left hand reaches up across your body. Feel that big stretch around your shoulder blade and the outside of your trunk, as well as down into the hip. Good. Remember that the stiffer our hips are, the more pressure and torque your low back takes. We really want to keep our hips loose so that our back can be more protected in the stable region of our body. Okay, next up, we are, doing our warrior stance, okay? So we're starting with your feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna go to the right. You're gonna reach up, both arms out as big as you can, and then transition back in. Step out as big as you can, and then step back in. Really emphasize your arms this round. I really want a big posture with those hands and with your shoulders. Going out and in. Let's try 3 more. 2 and 3. Good. Switch it up. Do the other side. Big step out and back in. Big posture every time. Focus on those shoulders this round. Really try to stretch those arms out as big as you can. This should be fatiguing. This is a whole body movement where you're putting 100% of your effort into that big stretch and reach. 1 more. And come back to the center. Good. Shake your arms out a little bit. Shake your legs out. We're going to go back to a seated position for a moment. We're going to do a figure 4 stretch, okay? So I want you to bring your left ankle up onto your knee. Think about a big posture, head and chest are up. You can push down on that knee if you need a little bigger stretch. Make sure if you are in a seated position right now with me, you should not be slouching, okay? This is not going to give you the stretch. We really need that big upright posture. Head and chest are up to get that nice big stretch around your pelvis and the hip. Okay, bring that back down. Try that same leg again. Bring him back up as if you're about to tie your shoe and put your sock on, okay? Very functional movement. Bring it back down. 1 more. Bring him up. We're going to hold. 9, 10, and then bring him back down. Good. Okay, right leg. His turn now. We're going to bring that ankle up on the knee. Let your right hand push down on that knee if you need a bigger stretch. If that feels too tight for your body and you do not have that range of motion available, straighten out the other leg and let your foot fall down the front of the knee a little bit. So you're still getting a rotational component of your knee and hip, but it's not as aggressive because it's not up as far into flexion, okay? Again, very, very functional movement that we use all the time. Put that right leg back down and then try to drive him back up with a little bit of speed. Head and chest are up as big as you can. to get that bigger stretch on the outside of your leg. Good. Put him back down. We've got one more here. Bring him back up. And then back down. Good. All right, we're going to stand together, but we're going to use our chair. I'm going to use the seat of the chair for my hands. You can also use the back part of your chair. If you want your arms up a little bit higher, you will get a stretch either way. Okay, we're going to have your feet about shoulder width apart, and I want you to try to hinge forward, put your hands on the chair. So you're either here or you have the chair flipped the other way and your hands are here. Okay, either way, your back needs to be flat. Okay. From here, I'm going to have you put your left leg forward and try to scoot your right leg back. Head and chest are up. And you should feel a really big stretch through the front line of your right leg. So that whole right thigh area into the hip are stretching. The most important part is that your head and chest has to be up to get that big stretch. Okay, if you're sitting with me and doing this stretch, we're in that side position with your right leg behind you, hands on your hips into that nice big posture. Okay, that's a modified seated position. Okay, we're going to switch. So we were here with the right leg back. I want you to try to walk your feet together again. Stand up nice and big. Just straighten your back all the way out. Hinge forward so that your back is flat. Your hands come back down to your chair. We're going to bring your right leg forward and your left leg is back behind you. Okay? Head and chest are up and you basically let your body weight dip down towards the floor to feel that nice big stretch on the front of your thigh. Make sure your head and chest are up. Good. Okay, we're going to step back out of that. Bring your feet back together. Stand up nice and tall. Let's try that one more time on each side. Left leg steps forward towards the outside of your chair. Your hands come down onto that chair and you scoot your right foot back. He's straight as possible and let your hips drop towards the floor. Good. Bring your feet back together. Stand up nice and tall. Now we're going to step forward with our right leg towards the chair. Hands come back on the seat of the chair and you walk your left leg back behind you. Let your hips drop towards the floor and keep your head and chest up as you feel that nice big stretch on the front of your left thigh. Good. All right. From here, we're going to walk back up with our feet. We are now going to transition down to the floor. If you have that movement available to you, we're going to start on our back together. We're going to have your knees bent and your feet about shoulder width apart. Your arms are down, fingers and palms of hand are down on the floor. I want you to bridge up. Oops, realize can't see me. Okay. I want you to bridge up as big as you can, lifting your bottom off of the floor and then come back down to the floor. Up with power and then down slow. Up with power, down slow. Up with power, down slow. Good, try 3 more. Up with power, down slow. Last one. Good. Okay, from here, I want you to bring your arms out as wide as you can. Okay, we're gonna bring your feet together, and I want you to let your knees fall apart. So we're doing a butterfly stretch. Knees fall apart, and you drive your knees back together. Knees fall apart. Drive your knees back up together. So it's a transitional movement, stretching the inner thigh. And then you also have a nice stretch on the chest muscles as your arms are out as wide as possible on the ground. Knees fall out. Back in, one more. Knees fall out. Back in. Good. From here, we're gonna roll onto your left side. So hips are stacked, knees are stacked, arms are on top of each other. We're gonna do an open book. You're gonna use your right hand with a little bit of speed. Reach as big as you can behind you, and then close those hands down. Reach up and over, and close down. Okay, I want speed to be a component of this, to feel that nice big stretch in the middle spine. Let's do 2 more. Open up, close down. Good. Take your time. We're going to roll to the other side. Now we're on our right side. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked, arms are stacked on top of each other. Left arm reaches up and across as big as you can, and then closes down. Up and out, close down. Good, try 2 more. Reach as big as you can, every repetition. Good. Okay, from here, guys, we're gonna try to transition onto your stomach. Okay, so if you have that motion available to you, I want you to roll onto your stomach and then prop up on your elbows. You should feel a nice stretch in your low back. You might feel a stretch on your abdominal muscles if you're tight on the front. This is a really healthy position for our low back that we need to be using every day. Okay, so stay in this position, propped up on your elbows. Take a couple deep breaths and think about expanding your ribs every time you take that deep breath in. Good. Let's take 1 more deep breath. Good. And then take your time. We're going to prop back up and we'll stand together